פרשת וישלח, תשפ"ד. Let's go into the psukim already. And let's review one very, very funny subject, which is going to be a very, very strong base to the Shabbos year. And those who come should remember that. But otherwise, you won't understand when we go a bit deeper. So just for you to have a guideline, I'm going to tell you what we're going to speak about is Yaakov tonight, Yaakov remaining alone at night, and the crossing of the Yabok. That's all I'm saying, because all these words basically make no sense as we're going to prove it. The pasuk says, "Vataver amincha al panav," after he sent the offering to Eisav, the present, "Vehulan balayla hahu b'machane." Look at these words. Yaakov went to sleep that night, balayla hahu, that night. Which night? This language, you find it when, by the daughter of Lot, when they went with their father, when the youngest went with their father, it says, balayla hahu, that night. Whenever you find that adjective in the Torah, that night, usually is the night of Pesach. Could be somewhere, but usually it's the night of Pesach. Because when HaKadosh Baruch Hu crossed Eretz Mitzrayim, he says, balayla. So Yaakov went to sleep. Now, Yaakov Vayakon, he gets up. Balayla hu, that night again. But this time we lost the hay. It's not balayla hahu, exactly the same language as it says with the first daughter of Lot, the night she went with her father. And remember what we said there? That the Gemara, they had the intention to bring out from their father the nitzoitz of Mashiach, if you remember, but anyway. But and Lot had bad intention. Vayikach eshete nashav, he took his two wives, veshete shivchoisav, and his two servants. You don't have a problem with this language? We're talking about the Imais, Rachel, Leah, Bilhah, and Zilpah. The one who's going to raise the tzaddik on which we stand today, Yosef HaTzaddik, is Bilhah. The one, they're going to have it altogether 4 Shvatim, which the 4 Shvatim are the chariot of the Shekhinah, because the chariot of the Shekhinah is 12. 4 times, it's always 4 feet, but this time it's 4 packs of 3, like they used to travel. Now, you want to tell me their mother, you call them servants? Why? A Jew is allowed to go with a shivcha? Can he marry a shivcha? No. Kiddushin don't work. Now, someone, chas v'shalom, went with a shivcha, and she had a son. What is that son? Does he go after the father? He has a yichus after the father, or yichus after the mother? After the mother. He's a eved. He's not a ben chorim. He's not a free person. He's not a Jew. So the Torah is insulting chas v'shalom, Bilhah, and I want to have time to get there, but I just want to raise the point. This is a tremendous. And even though, let's say it was true that there were shvachis before they got married to Yaakov Avinu, Choshen Mishpat, it's also to remind someone, oinas dvarim, you know, there's no interest to mention that point. So why do you remind someone who he was? On this, HaKadosh Baruch Hu never forgives. We think words are just, something because they come easy, they're cheap. Words have more effect than actions. When we say those words, when the Torah writes, Eisav, and it's not the only time in this parasha, 2 more times it's going to write it. Well, we don't understand it. Come on. With 1 time we can, but 3 times, something's going on here. Vet achad asa yeladav, like we don't know how many children he had, but I think Vaya'aver. This is where we're starting the shir. Vaya'aver Eis Mavar Yabok, and he crossed the crossing of Yabok. I don't know what Yabok is. It's a pasuk that it's there's a river there that's called Yabok. But what it means, you crossed the crossing. You go over a bridge, you take a bridge, but cross a crossing, it means when you cross, it means you're walking in a perpendicular direction to the ongoing of. So the Nachal is going that way, you crossing it. This I understand. And you look at the next pasuk, Vayikachem. Oh no, we didn't understand. Now he took them, Vayavirem es hanacha, and he made them cross the river. It's a river. So what did you say before? And what are you adding in this whole pasuk here? Vayikachem vayavirem es hanachal vayaver es hashalom. And he also crossed, all his belongings. What are you coming to teach me here? There is a tremendous side. Whenever you see this word vayaver, stop. At this point, something tremendous is going on. Tremendous. So we're going to see, what's going on here, but I'll explain you why Vayaver. We say in the Shloshes Remidos Vayaver Hashem al Panav. The Ari HaKadosh explains in Priyetz Chaim in Nefilas Apayim. On the Tachnun, he explained that Vayaver, if you take the letters, I'm going to take Ayin Bes from the middle, Ayin Bes, and I'm left with the word Resh Yud Vav. This equals Chesed. 216 equals exactly Gevura. Something is going. Now, it's also Shemus, but let's say Bepashtus, we'll take them simply. Vayaver tells me that Chesed and Gevura are not going to fight. The Chesed has overpowered the Gevura every time you see Vayaver, every time. So now here, why is the Torah using this language here? What is it coming to teach me? We saw that the Mavar, what they crossed is the river. They went in the river and they crossed to the other bank. Why? Then the previous pasuk says Mavar Yabok. Yaakov vayivaser Yaakov levadoi. Yaakov remained alone. Vaye'avek ish imoi ad alois hashachar. And a man fought with him till dawn, daybreak. Chazal says what, and look at Rashi, Vayavek means that with their feet, with their fight, the dust went up all the way to the Kisei HaKavod. What are you hiding here? From Rashi, you learn from that word, Vayavek. It means they wanted each other physically. But if you look at this word a little bit closely, okay, I don't need the verb, sorry. I don't need the verb as this is a chibur here. I need the verb. I'm just going to rewrite it a second time, copy. I'm going to change this letter with the iron. What do you have here? You see it coming? Yaakov. And if you take off the iron, instead of adding it, and we leave the base where it was, we have Yabok. Whoa. There is a game here. It's Yaakov. Now I see the words of the word, do we have Yaakov? Yaakov here. Yud, base, kuf, here's my Yabok. I have an ayin, I don't know what it means, we'll see. And I see the fight also in there, but instead of the ayin, it must be Ashkenaz, the guy, because he says Yaakov, he says Ya'avek with the Aleph. But I still have my Yud, base, Kuf, my Yabok. What's happening? What's this whole story that's supposed to be a simple story that Yaakov Avinu goes out at night and the angel of Eisav comes and fights him? I have a question. Very simple question. There are the Shifteka, the 12 tribes, are a few weeks, maybe even less, from Shechem, from the Maaser of Shechem. In other words, Shimon is already 13 years old, Levi is 12, Yehuda is about 11, and we all know from the Yalkut Shimoni Parshas Vayishlach this week, Yalkut Shimoni described the war that they're gonna have with the 7 nations that surrounds Shechem, and the Giborim they were, and how powerful it describes the war of the Bnei Yaakov. They tore them to pieces. Judah used to go up on walls. On Shabbos, I have to review you these, but the power of Yehuda, when we say in the Shemona Esrei, Ata Gibor Le'olam Hashem, comes out in Rashi Tevois, Aleph, Gimel, Lamed, Aleph. This is one of the name of Hashem. Extremely powerful, dangerous, but powerful. Someone knows how to use him, he has infinite powers. And that's the name Yehuda was using. So I just opened up this parenthesis to show you that they were very capable. You're talking about those very Shifteka, the Shvatim of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that will become the chariot of the Shekhinah. You let your father alone at night? You let your father carry and cross the things? You know, animals and everything. What the heck? What the heck? Are you shifteka? Are you a bunch of someone that has no manners? Who leaves Yaakov, the tzaddik adoyer? You know this halacha shifteka. You know that you can leave a tzaddik at night outside, because otherwise the mazikim will go right at him. How do you leave your father? Oh, you went to sleep. You were tired. Ah, I understand. I really understand. Malach Michael. First thing you do after Moshe Rabbeinu's tira, you go snitch on Moshe Rabbeinu to who? To Yeshua. That Moshe Rabbeinu didn't want you. Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to shepherd the Bnei Israel himself. And you complain to Yeshua and says, "Nah, I came back to take my role because Moshe." Everybody was afraid of Moshe Rabbeinu, even in Shamayim. And now I wanted to take back my place. The very essence of the Bnei Israel is Yaakov Avinu. He got this name Israel. Where are you, Malach Michael? Where are you? For our forefather, you can't complain about the children in the desert. What about our forefathers when his life was in danger, fighting the Malach of Eisav? Where were you? That was an opportunity to come down and help him. How did you leave him alone? We come before the Kisar Kavod. We have no answer. Why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu do such a thing? What was the plan behind this? Obviously, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the architect of everything. From this little story, I'm not going to stay long on the Gemara, so I'm not here to give you a pshat, vote just with a little pshat. We want to go to the essence. We want to see the blood type that flows in this story. We want to know for sure, we understand what's behind the story. Giving you a kvetch, sorry. That's not going to be it. So the Gemaras are learning from here, especially in Chulin, that from the fact that Yaakov, as soon as the pasuk says, "Vayivaser Yaakov levadoi," and he remained, it's also this lashon Vayivaser is a very interesting verb. You say in Hebrew, Nish'ar levad. He remained alone. But vayivaser in an active manner, it's probably the only time you will see that. I don't remember. I didn't search that this time, but that's probably the only time you're going to see this in the Torah. Anyway, we learn from here that the Gemara learns, Amar Rabbi Elazar says, what did he remain behind? Shenishtayer al pachin ktani. He remained because he forgot small vessels, so he went back. And he went back alone. Shifteka, Shimon and Levi are going to kill hundreds of Giborim. The strongest nation around there was Shem, and they're going to kill them. And no, they can't say, "Hey, Father, we're going to go." Where are you going? Just go rest, we're going to go and get them. Nope. Yaakov Avinu went. Nobody offered. And the Gemara learns from here, why was he so, why did he want to go back again? Because tzaddikim, they are very meticulous with their money because they don't steal. That's exactly the translation of the Gemara. They're meticulous with their money because they don't steal. Why? Because the one who steals, you want to tell me, he's becoming rich? Yaakov Avinu is a proof himself. He never stole, and he became excessively rich. And who says, Chazal says, Sakanta chamura meisura. A danger, put yourself in danger, it's more stringent than be over an isur. In other words, if you might be in a potential, you might, Lashon, so it means you're not sure. It's a suffix. You might come to a sakana, rather you do an isur rather than putting yourself in sakana. Yaakov Avinu, what right did you have? I understand the money. I understand the concept of the tzaddikim. It's fine. But what right did you have, halacha-wise, to put yourself in the sakana for money? If already in isur you can do, forget about money at night. Why don't you go the next morning? Why do you have to go at night when there's a time of the mazikim? Who said you should have gone at night? Oh, this is like Paris or New York, right? Because you have people crossing and coming back and forth that someone may find them and take them. Who's traveling at night? It's all times, desert. Who's traveling? Nobody. So what was the rush? What was the rush, Yaakov Avinu, to go there at night? And obviously, because it says the lashon of vayivaser, and he remained, not in a passive manner, in a passing temp, in an active temp, meaning he wanted to be alone. It means he told the Shvatim, don't come with me. I need to go alone. We have a Shulchan Aruch. So how can Chachamim don't learn the din? That you're allowed to put yourself in sakana from Yaakov Avinu, but you're going to learn me the side dinim. Oh, don't go out because you might come in sakana. How do I learn from from Yaakov Avinu? But since he did it, what can I do? This part you don't cross. Very interesting. Just going to bring another raya to this from the Midrash in Shmois by Yocheved. I don't want to spend too much time on this grass on everything. I want to go a bit deeper. When Yocheved did the, I don't know how do we call it, the teva for Moshe Rabbeinu, she put tar on the outside. Tevas goyme. Tevas goyme. Goyme is reeds. So the Midrash asks, you can do it in a better wood. Why did you do it with reeds? Midrash says because reeds are free. Easy to find, there's no gezel in this. And Chachamim, they're very medakdek with their money. Midrash, are you telling me they're stingy? Because don't come around the bush. Tell me they are stingy because they have a din v'cheshbon on every pruta, whatever the reason. But tell me the midah is stinginess. But don't come here with tirutzim. So the Midrash says that their money is more precious to them than their own life. Come on. You teaching us the wrong teachings here. Because here you created a bridge over a very, very dangerous river that nobody should walk. That someone will seek money more than his own life, meaning Olam Haba. You telling me, in other words, this is fine. Yaakov Avinu did it. He endangered his own life for very small money. So he did not give any importance to the life, to his life. So Yocheved with Moshe Rabbeinu, the Goyel Israel, the first and the last. Mashiach, without Moshe, there's no Mashiach. Moshe comes before Mashiach. You put him this? Why? HaKadosh Baruch Hu, every time is Maile someone Igdula, meaning he raises someone to a level of importance, he also enriches him in order for him to have, to be important to the eyes of those who value only materialistic possessions. So Yaakov Avinu was in lack of no money. He was so rich. Amram, the father of Moshe Rabbeinu, didn't lack money. He was filthy rich. And now you're telling me you're going to justify stinginess to put me, Moshe Rabbeinu, in a teva made out of reeds because it's free. Okay. The Gemara says in Brachas that we say in Kriya Shema, "Ve'ahavta es Hashem Elokecha bechol levavecha uvechol nafshecha uvechol me'odecha." The Gemara asks, if it says bechol me'odecha, with all your might, everything you own, which includes also your life, so why does it say bechol nafshecha before? And the Gemara says this comes to also include someone whose money is more important than his life. And who are these people? The tzaddikim. I mean, we say it in the Midrash, we see it in Psachim Kuf Yud Beis, in Chulin, in Broches Samechalaf Avodah. I mean, come on. This is not a simple teaching. Something is cooking here. We all understand that if someone comes to the Rav of his shul and he says to him, the Rav tells him, you should learn a little bit, you're working all the time. Well, you're not going to take that money with you, and you should think about the afterlife and prepare for yourself. The guy would tell him, I'm just like Yaakov Avinu. I'm just like Amram and Yocheved. What would you answer? Here, it's a clear definition of a michshoy. It's a trap. They're entrapping the future generations, especially those who don't know much, because they see this story and they see the little bit of behind the story we have seen, they're going to be lost. I'm going to quit on this Inyan right now here. I'm just going to bring the Orchos Tzadikim, what he says. So we can go a little bit deeper but anyway, they bring against you see Avram when he took Yitzchak. The Gemara brings this down also. Rashi says Eliezer and Ishmael. Rashi explain why, because if someone on the way back, if someone needs to go for personal reasons, to a corner, so the tzaddik doesn't remain alone, because and the Gemara says even by Yom, in a house which is not inside the city, it's dangerous to stay alone in that house. In a house alone, even in the city, it's dangerous to stay there at night. But it's much more dangerous to travel So Avraham Avinu thinking that Yitzchak is not going to be on the way back, he took Yishmael and Eliezer. In case someone has personal needs, he always going to have someone with him. That's the right approach. But Yaakov Avinu didn't learn from that. Even more so, Yaakov Avinu, when he's going to send Yosef HaTzadik to go to Shechem to see his brothers, he sends him alone. Yaakov Avinu, are you stingy? Because I talk like this. I just want to learn Torah here. Are you a pauper that you can't afford avodim? You have avodim, ushvaches, v'asoynes, ugmalim, that already you gave to Eisav. Meaning you have plenty more. You can't send one Eved with Yosef HaTzadik. With that Yosef, we're going to see this whole avodah would have gone up in the air. The one who anchored this whole avodah that Yaakov did is Yosef HaTzadik. The one on which this world stands on the shoulders that carries it through all that time is Yosef HaTzadik. We almost lost him. You thought he was lost. He could have been lost going to Mitzrayim. You send him alone. So it's not, you can see, it's not only for the money, like the Gemara wanted to say at the beginning, in Chulin, Amar Rabbi Elazar, Chavivin, the moment, the money of the tzaddikim is very important to their eyes, even more so than their life. No, that's not the reason. That's not the reason. You can see that he sent Yosef alone. And there was no money involved. This whole attitude from behavior from Yaakov Avinu, you can see is like mind-boggling. Big time, big time. Okay, so now let's transit slowly because we were on the, surfing on the upper waves, and now we're going to take a little dive. Not much, but we're going to take a little dive. So let me tell you the story, what it says in the Midrash, and like this, we're going to have a swift transition. Yaakov Avinu, if you look at the pasuk here, if we pay attention, as when I translated, I emphasized that point. They made an encampment, and he went to sleep at night. Then he got up. Hey, what'd you get up? Says the Midrash, he saw a flame running inside the encampment. He knew there was a kitrug, tremendous kitrug. He said, my family cannot remain here. He tried to avoid the conflict. Why? By crossing the river, because all these creatures and spirit don't do well with water. Basically, they can't cross water. So, body of water. Kishuf, magic, doesn't work. If you're in the water, or you take the kishuf and throw it in water, it has no more effect. It doesn't matter what it is. You put it in water, it's gone. Goodbye, Charlie. Because the spirit that it calls upon cannot come and be called anymore because it's in the water. So he went to the other bank. Still doesn't answer our main question, the Mavar Yabok. But we'll answer that too. So he bring them to the other bank. And then he decides to go back. Vayivaser Yaakov levadoi. Let me show you something here in the pasuk. Take this word. I don't need the vav achibur. Yivaser. I need the verb. Okay, we've seen it last week, the week before, and the week before. All the shemes of the Bina. Yaakov, okay, now. Kasa, Tamag, Kana. Aleph, it's all Kehiyeh. Aleph, Hey, Yud, Hey, twice for the, because remember, this is a sheet and there's a sword. There's 4 names of Yud Ke Vav Ke. Atzilus, Beria, Yetzira, Asiya. These are the 4 Yud Ke Vav Ke, exactly like the letters. This is the sword. You know, and so you need 4 of them in order to have the sheet, the 4th, the sword in there. It's also more than a sword. It's just an image. Whenever the Bina goes to fight, it means the Shem Yud Ke Vav Ke of the Chochmah is always inside. She's never fighting with her own power, which is already, more than enough. No, it's the power of Yud Ke, Chochmah, Bina. Just for you to add in the dictionary up there. Kasar, Karma, Kana. Yaakov Avinu saw that flame and decided something big, which he understood is going on. And he said, I need to fight. That's why it's active. He wanted to stay alone. He did not remain alone. It did not happen by mistake or whatever. He intentionally remained alone. But at the end of the day, he was not alone. He took all the names of the Bina with him. Just going to go slowly transition. Second pshat in the Midrash, Yaakov Avinu sees an old Arab with a few small flocks. So, and he tells Yaakov, I'll cross yours, you'll cross mine. Yaakov Avinu said, if you're happy with that, Yaakov Avinu had plenty. The guy said, no problem. In 2 seconds, he crosses Yaakov. An instant. All Yaakov belonging goes to the other side. In other words, he crossed the river. And Yaakov started taking his animals, his flocks, his sheep, and he crosses. And as he crosses, they start growing, till all the valleys to where I could see full of flocks. Yaakov Avinu took a rope and went around his neck, and he said, Pakros, you're a magician, you're a magician, you do witchcraft. The Satan thing, he's insulting me, a magician? He touched the ground with his finger, and fire started coming out of the ground. He thought of scaring Yaakov Avinu. Yaakov Avinu told him, do you think I didn't know who you were? Fire comes from me. Vehaya Beis Yaakov le'esh. Beis Yaakov is fire. In Israel, the word esh. Yisrael, you have the word esh inside. The fire comes from Beis Yaakov. Beis Yosef lehava, it's a flame. But just with these things, do you think you're going to scare me with that? Honestly, at that point, The Zohar says that all the Malachi Elyon wanted to come down and flock the Satan. All of them. What a chutzpah. He comes after the Tzaddik Adoyer, the most complete of the fathers, of the forefathers. He comes after him. Such a mechutz of a menuval. They wanted to come down from Shamayim. They were on their way without asking Rishon. They were on their way to finish him up. So the Baruch Hu told them, hey, where do you think you're going? He says, we're going to take care of the deen there. This is a mechutzav. The Baruch Hu said, don't you worry. My son Yaakov can take care plenty of his own business. Let him deal with it. Interesting. Interesting. Why would HaKadosh Baruch Hu let Yaakov be in a Makom Sakana? Obviously, there's a story behind the story. Yaakov says the Zohar in Pashas Tazria. Vehulon balayla hahu b'machane. He was in the encampment. Asks the Zohar a very, very strong question. So why did he get up? Why did he decide to cross during the night? Says the Zohar HaKadosh that he saw that the light was going toward the children. Yaakov Avinu, if he was going to go toward him, no, he would have stayed like if Yaakov Avinu was sleeping at night. But anyway, if he was for Yaakov Avinu, he would have not worried. But Yaakov Avinu understood that something that he had not foresaw yet was going to happen down the line with the children of Israel. And this is when he got worried and decided, let me clear the whole encampment and let me fight this malach, and I'm going to make him spew, everything. Let's go back into the pasuk. Now that we transited already a little bit, let's keep on transiting here. So we know here we have some kind of hint from the Torah which night it was, because the Torah would tell me Balayla Hahu that night without telling me which night. I need to know which night. Despite the fact, I'm going to give you maybe a little introduction to this so you understand. Despite you remember in the Sulam of Yaakov saw 4 malachim going up, and these malachim were the malachim that gonna enslave the Bnei Israel and take us in Galus in their land. We had Bavel. We had 70 years. He went 70 rounds and went down. We had Parasumadai. It was 70 70 something years. So he went 70 rungs and came down. Yavan, it was 52 rungs. Because Yavan, even though it lasted 180 years, but the Xeris they made about Milah, about Shabbos, about Torah only lasted 52 years. And this is where the Chashmonaim came out, and this is when we had the whole last year I gave, I went into the story. I can't remember, maybe it was on Hanukkah, maybe it was here, maybe it was somewhere else, another year, I don't remember. But the beatings, Ayupator, the king of Yavan, the most powerful, that Rome could not even start to fight, was taking from a few tzaddikim, an old man, Matasyahu Kohen Gadol, and his 5 children. The beatings, and how it's described in the Midrash, it's so beautiful. Anyway, so Yavan is the one that had the most. Eisav, Adam, will have shmat. There will be sometimes destructions. They come for our lives, no reason, just after that. But Yavan was friendliness, like in America. No anti-Semitism. No, you can't do that. Jews are just have the same right as others, in country even more so. So you feel even more. This is the downfall of the Jews. This is what Yaakov Avinu saw, which we're going to see, which is called the darkness. When you antagonize a Jew, you revive the little nitzoids of Judaism that he has. He feels a Jew. Just like we saw with our war. Soldiers that were on the left in the street in Tel Aviv protesting against France, all of a sudden everyone felt these Arabs woke up a giant, a sleeping giant, a sleeping lion. And this is what antagonizing do to the Bnei Israel. But when you start doing, befriending them and everything, we have no defense for this. And Chas v'Shalom, this is our downfall. So Yavan was like philosophy, come and learn, everybody is equal, you can go to theater, you can go to amphitheater, to the Woodies and all this, that. Jews started to be misyavnim, to become Greeks. And since a Jew has a thirst naturally of knowledge, doing, philosophy can replace it. Exactly as we see when Jews went completely crazy and bizarre when they became communist. Why? Because they came out with another philosophy. It filled them up. That's it. Now you fill a Jew with anything, he's filled up, he's happy. And this is the danger. Yaakov Avinu realized something is not correct. Something is not going to end up well there. They need a hand from me. I'm going to extend my hand thousands of years later on to try to what did he do? Now, if you take this, the first time it's mentioned, Vehulon balayla hahu b'machane, which we translated is slept, and I told you he doesn't sleep at night. This equals 297. This equals all the Yud Ke Vav Ke filled up. Sag Ma Ben Aleph Dalet Nun. The Shekhinah too was in danger. In other words, because I'm going to show you, he took all these names with him in full, because when they're open like this, they're like a sword, and you can fight with them. And he took the name of the Shekhinah together, bounded him here, and went out to see what our dear sir, the Sar of Eisav, the Malach of Eisav, the Satan, had in plan for the future Galuyos that we're going to go through. And where was that danger? And where is Yaakov needs what he needs to do? Now, if we take Vayokoim, but we said already before he didn't sleep. Now we understand the meaning of the pasuk. So why do you tell me Vayokoim? Because here Yaakov took Yosef. Yaakov and Yosef are one block. You cannot dissociate them. Till Mashiach will need these two together in order to overpower. The koyach of Shabbos is Yaakov Yosef, 338. 338, the Sar of Eisav and Ishmael. Every Shabbos that you do properly, you get the power of Yaakov Yosef, which is 13 times Yud Ke Vav Ke, which equals to 338. And the whole week, these two guys cannot approach you. And you want nothing to do with these guys, nothing at all. By just being Mechabed Shabbos, by putting flowers, this is enough to get rid of these two guys for the week. Because Prachim equals Yaakov Yosef. When you Mechabed Shabbos, you Mechabed the Shechina, you Mechabed the Malka, you Mechabed the Melech. And this is just a parenthesis. So you're always going to find Yaakov. Right next to him, you're going to find a hint. Yosef is not far. Not that he was there personally. No, Yosef he wasn't there. But he took the schus of Yosef. As Yosef is born, now he's not afraid anymore from his brother Eisav or from the Sar. He can take the schus of Yosef with him and go fight. Okay, very good. Now I understand how the pasuk, he didn't get up, he took the schus. Valayla hu equals 89. Equals Hanukkah. What? Yaakov Avinu, what did you see in that the Bnei Israel will have a tzara and a tsar on all the others? At the end of the day, we'll wake up, we'll return to Hashem, and we will get, even though, yes, there's the help of Abraham, we learned this, there's the help of Sarah Imenu, there's the help of Rivka Imenu. Yes. But still, never were we so asleep in front of a danger as by Malchus Yavan. Never will. Never have we accepted the abuse that the Yevanim have done to the Beis Hamikdash without reacting. Never. When the Romans are going to come and try to do the same thing and put idols in the Beis Hamikdash, people will flock to Jerusalem to die rather and try to fight with their body the Romans. They will be in Jerusalem. Jerusalem was washed out with the blood of Jews, of her children, only for its cover. for the kavod of Hashem. But in Hanukkah, you don't have this. You have Yaakov Avinu. And that's what Yaakov Avinu is going to do right now here. And that's what we're going to see. And now I'm going to go back here to Eisav, and you're going to see what power he lands, why he had to be. Once we said that, okay, you don't need this anymore. You'll understand. Yovan, Hanukkah equals Eisav. 6 times Yudke Vavke need to be used to beat the Yevanim and to make the miracle of Hanukkah. And that, it says, Balayda. When was that night? Yaakov realized something bad was going on here. He needed to act. He saw a tremendous kitrug that in Shemayim, the Satan was coming. They don't deserve the nest. They don't deserve the nest. No. Yaakov Avinu went, shut his mouth up. He made him swallow his words. Let me show you, because obviously you don't understand. If the Malach saw Yaakov so big, what even there? I mean, is he a kamikaze, this guy? Or is he likes being beaten up? Why do you come and start with Yaakov Avinu? You have no koyach against him. Oh, you're a Malach? Sorry, Malach. Let me tell you something. All you have is the very powers HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave you. You can't even use a different Shem. Us little persons in Miami, in North Miami Beach, we can use more Shemus than you can use. So please, when you say you're strong, yes, you're very strong in one aspect, one field. You're even lethal. But us, we Israel, Banim Lashem, with the children of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we might go, we might suffer, we might, but this you'll never take it away. You can do nothing. But now Yaakov Avinu, who was Shalem, he was complete. You want to start with him? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Now let me show you what the pasuk tells us with these. You remember here? No, it's not this. Oh, there we go. What did I write, Yaakov? I picked it up. All right, I don't have it anymore here. Now, so we know here we have Yabok, okay? But we know here we have Yaakov is one letter different than the 5. Yaakov Avinu, when you say someone is complete, mean he completed the right, the middle, and the left. When he came to fight, realized the Satan that Yaakov Avinu has on his right Avram, that completed that, and he connected himself to Avram to also complete that, meaning he copied the derech of his grandfather. Yitzchak Avinu completed that, and he connected himself to the derech of his father to complete that. Exactly as we said last week, Karen Mizrahi Stefan is always in a shir on Shabbos. But he completed, so Yaakov was complete. From the right, from the left, from the center. This line is called Yichud. Let me write it for you. Yichud. This line is called Bracha. This line is called, sorry. Yes, that's correct. Kedusha. You see the first letters coming out here? Yud, Beis, Kuf. Yabok, which are the letters of Yaakov also. Now, told you many times, just gonna, when we say Hashem, the same way, we say Yud Ke Vav Ke, Ya'anenu. Sorry, it's not Hashem. It's Hashem Hoshia. That's Amelech Ya'anenu Beyoim Koreinu. Yud Beis Kuf. We're calling upon this Yabok, so we really have to understand who this Yabok is. Yichud, we want Yichud, Bracha, Kedusha. So we see that Ayin and Aleph, so now we understand Yud, Beis, Kuf. Yud, Beis, Kuf is also Yabok, is when we elevate the Shechina to Yud Ke Vav Ke, Ye. That's the Yichud, Aleph, Dalet, Nun, Yud. This equals 112. Yabok equals 112. So when the Malchus God draws the Yeshua, the Bracha, from all the way up, from the Chochmah and the Bina to bring to Bnei Israel, this is called Yabok. But I would explain it, you will understand and never forget it. So here, again, I'm going back, Yaakov. You remember last week, we spoke about, and I think it was in the general shir, we spoke about the Satan going to Hare Kedem. He went to the Hare Achoshech to the east. Vayisa Yaakov Raglav. Oh no, it was on Shabbos that year. It was on Shabbos. I didn't give it to the others. Okay. There are the mountains of darkness. In the mountains of darkness, those two angels that came down at the time of Bereshis and tried to convince HaKadosh Baruch Hu not to create man. HaKadosh Baruch Hu pushed them from the sky. They came down. As soon as they arrive on earth, they sinned. They are chained up in the Hare HaChoshech. The only human that was able to walk there was Lavan. Bilam, it would take him days. He had to prepare, to wait for them to call him and to send him a special God. Lavan was the highest of the highest. But the Satan, these are his friends. Goes like, because he's an angel, he's not a human. They told him as an idea to go and tell Lavan, try to convince Lavan to give him both sisters, trying to entrap Yaakov to be over on the issue of marrying two sisters. And at that point, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will move away from him, and he will be available as a prey for the Satan. That was the Eisav. So he went. So, and this is exactly what the Pasuk, as a continuation, tells us. Yichud, Achayos, sisters, now separated the Yichud from Bracha and Kedusha with what? With the sisters. Yaakov, in his name it says, Yichud, Anava, and the name of some. Anava, it says in the Torah, it kills the Satan. The reason is Anava equals 131, the Psalm equals 130. Okay? So as long as Anava was in Yaakov Avinu, he would have never touched. It burns him like a fire. But he thought, based on the Malachim there, that they told him that the two sisters will create a period between HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Yud, and the rest. And then he will be like a nothing. But Yaakov knew that he didn't sin with the two sisters because HaKadosh Baruch Hu made it. That's the halacha, is that a ger that converts, if he was not for moral reason, he would be even mutar to marry his mother. So much they become different, meaning only the outside appearance remains the same, or the inside is different. Say Chazal, Toihu is Baver. The Midrash in Bereshit Rabbah Dalet in Parshas the Bereshit. Vavoihu is Paras. When they went with the Achashverosh, Haman, V'choshech Yavan al pnei Sehoim is Edoim, where we are now. Veruach Eloikim merachefes, veruchoi shel Mashiach merachefes al penei hamayim. And the spirit of the Mashiach, how do you say this in English? When the plane just hovers, hovers over the water. We saw here, we had Chanukah. Okay, we have Yavan, and I'm sorry, I'm going to be a little bit deep because I really want to finish this this subject for you to understand a little bit of something, give you a taste of what we learn on Shabbos. I don't know why I stopped here. I should stay here the whole time. If you take now, Yaakov crossed, and we know that is chesed and gvura, meaning he took the two sides, his father and his grandfather, and he crossed. Something was happening. Equals 424 equals Mashiach ben David. What did he see? He saw that something will come back up with the Satan and will block the Mashiach ben David. Right away, Yaakov Avinu got up, took the schus of Yosef, so he was surrounded full-time Oragonus. If I have time, I'll show it to you. By the way, if you take the 4, this, I'll find you the nearest Hanukkah right in there, but I don't want to do it now. I'll keep it for the end if I have time. So Mavar Yabok is, guys, funny. You know how to read this. You know how to read it? Donald Trump equals exactly 420. So it's weird. We're going to leave a certain time. No cheshbonet. Let HaKadosh Baruch Hu do whatever he wants. It's HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows how to channel the Mashiach. All we want is the end results. Us. It's now we're gonna see in the same pasuk here, Vayavor es Mavar Yabok, what Yaakov all this weird on this what he went to do. We know already he went for Mashiach. This is the Sod Hageula, sorry, Be'acharis Hayamim. Something was blocking the Geula, and this is what the Kitrug he saw, that there was a Kitrug strong enough to be able to stop the Mashiach for coming, and this is what Yaakov took upon himself. And because you know the power of Yaakov. Yaakov equals 7 times Yud Kei Vav Kei. 7 times 26. Yosef is 6 times 26. Yaakov is 7 times 26. Yitzchak is 8 times 26. So Yud Kei Vav Kei. This equals to, again, this guy with Edoim. Basically, the protection we have during Galus Edom is Yaakov Avinu. He has the koyach to go, but he saw. So this is inherent in Yaakov's power. But here that he had to go into action, he realized that we're not talking about the last. We're talking about the one before. The other Galus. And that will be a Galus where they need our help. And if you realize, that's why he didn't say in the pasuk here the nachal. We learned last week what nachal right was. Every time the Torah says nachal without a name afterward, if we were talking about nachal Yabok, it should have said nachal Yabok. Whenever it says nachals without anything, it's the bina. Because nachal, we said last week, is the mazel noitzer. It's the first letter is noitzer, chesed, loa, lafim, which equals 603, which equals to Bnei Yisrael. This is our mazel. This is, but now forget about this. But the nachal is also equals to lehadlik ner Chanukah, which equals to 518, which equals to Shimon and Levi. You're going to start finding everyone. This is the well of power. When we need it, we have one mazel. On Hanukkah, we're going to light the candles. At that time, within that half an hour, we light inside, for half an hour only, inside those candles, the same oil that gives infinite power, that used to light by Maaseh Bereshis, that can remove every obscurity that has the person in his life. I mean, can go back and forth and prove it, but I think you trust me, it's enough on this. It's the Chanukah. Yaakov Avinu saw the danger of the Yevanim, and he went to fight for the Nitzoitz, and that's why Matasio, despite his advanced age, he was 90 years old. So how old was Yehuda? He was not a youngster. They took swords they never used. They never trained. And with that, they went and they made. But behind all this, the Midrash says, sometimes there used to be, Yehuda used to go fight because with the Emunah, you had to start the war. And then he would dive into HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I can't anymore. I'm going to let go of my arm. I can't carry even the sword. At that time would appear Shamayim. And this is not in the Sifrei Kabbalah, it's in the Midrash. With the appear in Shamayim, a young, valiant soldier, powerful on the horse of fire with a spear as the barak, the you know, when you have les éclairs. Judy, comment on dit les éclairs en français? En anglais. Jaime, you know?
How do you say what?
Lightning.
Yeah, the
Thunder,
lightning and the thunder. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay,
I
sorry.
need one on. Thank you. So the thunder and the lightning, and he came rushing. There were 1 million. He chased them out of Eretz Yisrael. They were in the whole entire world. They heard that a bunch of 300 Jews, old Jews, chased out Eopator and his general, which was a beast in war. They chased him out till they went in the ship and they sailed away. There were millions of dead. I mean, hundreds of thousands of dead in the meantime. And this is the Nes of Chanukah. This is Yaakov Avinu, Yichud, Anava, Bracha, Kedusha. Baruch Adonai Elohim, Amen v'Amen. Abbas Hashem Shabbos, we'll go to the next level. After Neith Hashem. Thank you. I'm going to stop this.